Well, hello there, chat. It's me, Discount Legal Mindset. While he's on holiday, all of the anime news belongs to me. Or something to that effect. Look, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about VTubers. I don't know much about Kirsche in general. But this story has been getting my interest, and I'm kind of seeing where people are coming from. Now, tonight we're going to be talking about this situation. There's a particular sicko. A real sicko we're going to learn about tonight called, what was her name? Ana Valens or something? I think I have one of their links up here somewhere. Yeah, this person. This is a real sicko. Ana Valens. You've probably heard and seen this before. We're going to listen to this. This person is a very deranged individual, and it seems like they are motivated by pure jealousy because they tried to get an invite into the Lewd Voice Actors Guild or something. And because they could not, they've been taken out on the Fox girl, who is just having a bit of edgy times. And they've lost their Gamer subscriptions or sponsorships. But now they've made a very funny and very effective attack on Vice and their journalists. So we'll see that today. We also got DeminsTV, after she tried and failed to get money for her GoFundMe against H3H3. She has decided to retreat, tail between her legs, back to the Hassan waiting room chat channel, which is her stream. And also Vitaly. Very funny, but Vitaly is actually dying as we speak. I mean, that's not funny, but he kind of get what he deserves, right? It seems like he's having not a very good time in prison. So we'll check out that. Does Vice still exist? Apparently so. But be sure to like the stream. It helps us get out there, and we'll get into this. And I'll try and recount this story as I understand it, okay? I'll probably make mistakes along the way, but feel free to tell me that I'm wrong. And when I'm right, you can spam true in the chat. So this story sort of came up a few days ago. Well, actually, it was a couple of weeks ago, I think. But why is GamerSups VTuber pushing the great replacement theory? And I'm not sure if this is their original image or if it's Kirsche's original image, but they've definitely started using it, as it is very funny. It's obviously an anime parody of the Trump incident. Now, I saw this article, but as I'm not really very involved in the VTuber space, I kind of slipped my radar for a bit. Now, I've heard people talking about this. I've heard about Josh Moon talking about this deranged person on Maddie once or twice. But again, I was like, well, okay, these connected. I don't understand. Until recently, the deplatforming attempt and also the cancellation attempt of the cancel pigs happened. But there was a couple things that happened. But first, who is Kirsche? You may have recognized Kirsche. She's this Fox girl. And she's a big friend of apparently Sean, because he's a VTuber now too, apparently. They're all becoming VTubers. So this is what the VTubing content is. If you're not aware with it, because I know that there's a couple boomers in my audience like myself who might not be aware. And a VTuber is just a streamer, but they have an anime avatar and they have like these different personas, I guess. And her one is that she is a Fox girl, but she's also based. And by that, I mean that she says some pretty funny stuff that we'll check out tonight. But this is like a typical VTuber stream, something like this.
Sleazy in the chat asked, Sean, does Kirsche know about Mama JF? What is a Mama JF?
So, do you know who Jean-Francois Garapi is?
No.
Okay, so he is he is the French Canadian part of the alt-right.
Oh,
that was back in the day with like Nick Fuentes, Andy Worski.
So
you know
he's
who
gay.
He is, Andy Worski?
Yeah, I know Andy Worski and Nick Fuentes.
No. Okay. Yeah, so no, he's not. No. Unlike I don't think he would look at Nick Fuentes and go, "But you are homosexual. I do not wish to have relations with you, Nicholas." Because he's got that accent. And
yeah,
he's very conceited.
So she's aware of the potato question. Then I saw something else today which kind of prompted this stream, and that's from someone that I like, but I very rarely actually watch, and that is Harmful Opinions. A severely underrated streamer. He does some great short form content, and his streams are pretty entertaining too. And I listened to the beginning of this because I was like, oh, okay, I could use this for research. And when I heard what he said, I knew I had to do this stream. So I'll play it for you so you can get a taste of what I heard.
Online for the past few days, I've been seeing an article circulating from Vice called "VTubing has an elephant in the room, bigotry," and there's a little update that was added on the 9th that says, "Since the publication of this article, harassment against me has become particularly egregious on Twitter. An anime-themed tea company told me to kill myself. A right-wing VTuber fan encouraged me to buy rope."
Wait, no, and then I was like, now wait a second. An anime-themed tea company? Could it be, chat? Who could that? Do we know an anime themed tea company? Yes, it's the Dragon's Treasure. This stream, I guess, sponsored by Dragon's Treasure. You can use code COPE for 10% off of your tea if that still works. They've got black teas. You've got all the teas. You look at this. You've got, and then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Very popular tea. This is all a tea shill stream. If you haven't figured it out yet. Let's see. That infamous line that started one of the biggest cultural phenomenons of our time. Get the experience, the taste of the Fire Nation's first assault with this classic Russian caravan tea. But then actually the T-Man sent me this clip as well. He said that I should play it during the stream. So let's take a look. It's Asmongold, your boy Zach. He's the Roach King. Let's see what he has to say about this.
Anime-themed tea company has told me to kill myself, and a right-wing VTuber.
This is the average VTuber experience, by the way. You can expect a lot of this.
Sentences that exist in the year of our Lord 2025. An anime-themed tea company told me to kill myself.
That's right. You can get all of your anime-themed tea companies that want you to die with the code COPE. 10% off from thedragonstreasure.com. Very good. Very funny. All right. So let's actually get into this proper story after I get to this. Trugger Rob says, wait, this isn't a dino stream. There'll be a dino stream soon. I just have to find the time to do it. I want to play Trudon, which is kind of ironic, actually. Anyway. So let's go back and see what this was. So basically, like I said, there's this character called Ana Valens. Let's take a look at their Twitter account for just a sec. Ana Valens, they are a VTuber giantess, 18 plus. It says, follow me outside of Twitter. So you know there's a bunch of sussy links here. And I got to be real careful with these scrolls. Hold on a second. Okay, that one's fine. Okay, here we go. This is what I wanted to get to. All right. This is a risky scroll, okay? So let's see, their last post from 9 hours ago saying, the hardest part about covering adult games is just how many there are. Can't even begin to make a list. Every time I develop a long-time schedule plan for Waypoint, 20 more potential games come to mind. I will note I'm interested in covering more games featuring LewdTubers. LewdTubers are welcome to get in touch with me and their VA, which is voice acting gaming work as well, so don't be afraid to shoot me a DM. You can also see that their Pornhub account had their video deleted. It says, Sag, your video, your neat, hungry dragon goddess neighbor vores you and crushes you with her feet ASMR has been removed. So this person is an absolute degenerate on top of being a VTuber. But it gets worse. It gets worse. Like I said, that was a lucky I checked that scroll thing. Lucky I checked that scroll. Woo, I was sweating there a little bit. Because I did scroll down further this page, and there is some very lewd stuff there that I could not show on YouTube. So that's fortunate. That's fortunate. I did not get tricked. So this person is a VTuber, and they are also, which is ironic because they not only do they pretend to be a anime character, they pretend to be a woman. And they wanted to join a voice acting company, I believe, called VA or V Allure. And it's basically like a hentai-themed voice acting guild or company that these VTubers usually get into. Usually they get into like these companies. They do all the management, and they usually like promote them and make them models and things like that. But like I said, I'm not too aware of all the VTubing stuff. But they got kicked out because no boys allowed in the lewd voice acting company. So they decided to write a very, very angry and very influential, not really, article about how their company was degenerate, and they started going on a cringe murder spree trying to cancel everybody, which is where these first articles began to come from. This one's saying VTubing has an elephant in the room bigotry, and there's a post from 4chan from Anonymous, the illustrious mysterious man known as Anonymous, says, please join the 41%, Anna. You will never be a woman. I don't know what they could mean by that. Early this week, an independent VTuber, Rin Prisnose, announced the end of her partnership with a gaming company called GamerSupps. According to Primrose, her decision came due to the associations with creators who felt strongly conflict with my own, as well as a lack of communication with the company partners. Now, I think GamerSupps is very common in the VTubing and gaming space. My opinion on GamerSupps is that it's a complete waste of money. You don't need energy drinks to play video games, okay? You need energy to go to the gym or go to work. You don't need GamerSupps, or, I mean, you can enjoy them, sure. If you enjoy them, that's fine. But people buying the energy GamerSupps is this is the biggest waste of money that I can imagine. You should go spend it on tea on thedragonstreasure.com, because that's actually good for you and tastes delicious, okay? Using code COPE. Anyway, it doesn't matter. GamerSupps basically sponsors everybody, and this person decided, Vin Primrose, that they were going to quit because there's too many naughty people in the GamerSupps. But this wasn't enough. This person was being attacked by 4chan, and clearly Anonymous has to be working for the Fox girl. Primrose's decision reflects one from, I've heard sources of English-speaking VTuber communities saying, all is not well among GamerSupps partner creators. Last month, I reported on controversial GamerSupps partner Kirsche, who has a well-documented history of espousing racist and transphobic beliefs. Kirsche has since addressed our article, claiming she does not condone or promote racism. The VTuber was recently the subject of another article regarding her views on Shiloh Hendricks. Now, that's the woman that gained over approximately $700,000 after she went viral for calling a 5-year-old child who was stealing things from her purse the N-word. Now, I believe that Kirsch's actual opinion on this was that you get what you fucking deserve, and people weren't upset when the guy that stabbed that other kid got a fundraiser. It seems a bit unfair. That he can have a fundraiser and she can't. But I mean, that's what free speech is. You might not like it, but that's the way it is. Anyway, so I think Kirsche defended that in that situation. She does not believe Hendricks' behavior is okay. However, Kirsche believes that Hendricks' racist actions are just kind of a consequence of where we are now, unfortunately, claiming that these people are advocating violence on both sides. So there you go. Actually, if I'd read a little bit more, it says that even in their own article, they say that, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't call 5-year-old kids the N-word, but it is what it is. And Two Rats also says, any update on the Rakita body cam? Not just yet, but good question. I'm sure later in the week we might see something about that. So this is one of the articles, and there's also this guy called Bint, more like dented, but whatever. But N Binted, he says, Kirsche says it's not okay to hurl racist abuse at a 5-year-old, but it's a consequence of where we are right now. Invokes George Floyd to say there is a 2-tier justice system, which is kind of true. And the people calling children slurs is an outcome of white people being the real victims. Now, if we actually go here, what does it say? Let's see. Espousing racist. If I click on this link, what am I going to get? Let's see what their example for racist was. Oh, look. This is all journalism is now, is like talking about Twitter posts. I mean, I guess I'm doing it too. So, you know, it is what it is. Kirsche disparages Nelson Mandela here as well, which is notable as she pushes false narratives from dubious sources about the post-apartheid South Africa is an anti-white country. I mean, this is true, though. Like, people are literally fleeing South Africa as refugees because they're being home invasioned. They have to build, like, flamethrowers on their cars and shit. No, that's just the farmers are being driven out, even though they produce, like, 95% of the country's food supplies. An argument that is popular with white supremacists. Hey, look. I'm not a white supremacist, okay? I don't even live in a white country. Implicating, defending a brutal apartheid regime. Is there actually a link to this? Can we listen to what she said? Let me see if we can click on this. It's really annoying when they link. The archive links don't work. Kirsche complaining about not being able to name a video game character after Anders Breivik, an infamous famous neo-Nazi terrorist convicted of killing 77 people, who she refers to affectionately as a comic killer. Based. I mean, like, she's just having fun. She's just having some edgy jokes. Like, why do people get so mad about these edgy jokes? That's the first one. Then comes this one. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Then comes this second one. Why is GamerSup supporting VTuber, supports VTuber pushing the great replacement theory? Now, meet Kirsche Verstahl. One of her fans is a bona fide Nazi. Think about the ridiculousness of this statement. Meet Kirsche Verstahl. One of her fans is a racist. One of her fans, like, what are you talking about? You can't control who your fans are. Okay, now maybe you can say things they don't like and they stop being your fan, maybe like that. But you cannot be expected to police the minds and the thoughts and the dreams of the thousands of people that follow you. And VTubers have a really massive cult following. I think in Kirsch's case, she's got like tens of thousands of fans. So I think she's like a smaller VTuber, but she's still pretty big in the grand scheme of things compared to regular streamers, right? So if one of those peoples is a racist, then surely she is guilty by association. This is ridiculous. This is posted by, again, this insane person. And this is the level of journalism that we see on Vice News. She's got 56K subs now. There you go. Almost 100,000 fans. Let's see. So let's have a look at her article, at this article. Let's see some of this writing. GamerSups is pretty much ubiquitous with VTubing, owned by a popular online content creator, Gislat, I guess. I don't know how to say this. GamerSups advertises itself as the most effective and healthy energy choice. Well, it isn't. I mean, just have a cup of coffee. I guess I'm never going to get that GamerSups sponsorship, but oh well. For gamers and esport talent alike, combines caffeine with nootropics, which is just another garbage with stupid nothing thing. Then slap on the branding marketed towards geeks and gamers, and you've got GamerSups. This reminds me of Gamer Nuts. Did you guys ever see that? Or Gamer Bread? Wait, I think Gamer Bread was the parody, but Gamer Nuts, wasn't that the real one? Sorry, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. Let me see. Gamer Nuts. This is a risky search for Gamer Food. Was this real? This is actually real, isn't it? Food Beast. Yeah, look. Here we go. This is gamer food, okay? This is a real product, gamer food. Caffeinated seeds, caffeinated nuts, caffeinated cashews. This is what you need. Where's my gamer noodles? I haven't found them yet. They're way too popular. Obviously, this is an effective marketing strategy, but it's so pointless. Although eating seeds is really good for you. So I guess this is probably better than whatever the other one was. But if you get low on energy, just eat your gamer nuts or whatever. I'm trying to remember what Gamer Bread was from now, though. I'm pretty sure it was a parody video, but I don't know which channel it was from. Let me see. It's a rite of passage for a growing VTuber to gain a GamerSups partnership, let alone snag a merchandise run via the company. Waifu Cups. VJojo star Nyanas, for example, received her own cup at the company, as did Shy Lily. Don't know who any of these people are. However, GamerSups is in hot water with many VTuber fans due to the behavior of one particular content creator working with the company, Mythic's talent Kirsche Verstahl, an anime fox girl with a knack for sharing alt-right talking points. Kirsche has landed herself in controversy after controversy online due to her right-wing beliefs. Based. At this point, it begs the question whether GamerSups will one day pull the plug on the VTuber for good. Interesting. And then they have a clip here, I guess, videos by Vice, a VTuber who believes demographic replacement is happening to white people. Kirsche is a relatively popular VTuber sporting over 56. Well, she's gained 30,000 since this article's happened, so it seems it's been very effective. On Twitter and at least 44,000 on Twitch. She originally announced her partnership with GamerSups in September of 2023, followed a merchandise reveal in this past month, and from cups to shirts, Kirsche fans will soon be able to flag their love for the alt-right-wing Fox Girl IRL thanks to GamerSups. I believe she's also a close friend of Pepper, who is very popular on certain spaces as well. While some VTubers may wink or nod at conservative beliefs, Kirsche has never hidden her political leanings. In fact, she gained a reputation for speaking out on behalf of right-wing sources aside of the VTubing fan base. In February, she said trans women advocating for trans rights are autogynephilic males with graphic murder fantasies. She praised Mythic Talent's co-owner Asmongold for arguing every trans kid is actually a victim of a parent with mental illness. I mean, that's pretty much true. Gamergate subreddit Kotaku and Action has shared Kirsche's work to acclaim, calling her based, Fox. Another post in the our YouTube drama declared Kirsche is the main culprit for alt-right pandering in VTubing. In casual conversations with her GamerSups merchandise drop, VTuber fans were quick to describe Kirsche as right-wing. One Redditor even went to great lengths to stress they were not attempting to take a side on Kirsche's content, but simply objectively describe her to those who have not seen her work. Now, again, this is an amazing piece of work by Vice. Redditors are talking about this person. This is a source in 2025. She's alt-right, anti-woke, and apparently transphobic to a degree. Few comments mentioned her calling trans women being mentally ill men. One Redditor said, "None of this is my own info. Just restating what other people have said. What the fuck is this?" So she's saying, Kirsche said that she's an alt-right, anti-woke, apparently transphobic to a degree. And then he says, none of this is, just trust me, bro. My sources just trust me. I made it the fuck up. This is some amazing journalism. Redditors are saying this isn't their own words. This is what they heard other Redditors say. Brilliant. Chinese whispers on the Reddit space. And this is the lewd posting for the Waifu Cups Kirsche. Alt-right seems to be an accurate description of Kirsche and her politics. In one clip, Kirsche gives weight to the Great Replacement theory. Can we see this clip? Or is this going to be another archive Twitter link? Oh no, it's just a link to the Great Replacement theory. It's not Kirsche actually saying that. I guess this one maybe. Let's see if we can actually see what she says. I'm kind of curious. All right, there's a video here, it looks like. Let's see. So this is by Binted again, the dented guy. Kirsche has now explicitly stated her beliefs in the white supremacist Great Replacement theory. Here she is openly stating her beliefs that politicians in the US and the UK are assisting in the hostile demographic takeover while ranting about construction of mosques in England. Oh my goodness. Maybe this isn't loading. I was kind of curious to see about that. Oh well. Let me see where were we? Our politicians are assisting. So this is the words that Kirsche said. Our politicians are assisting these people in both demographic replacement as well as just making citizens' lives worse in general. They're changing the entire culture of these countries. I mean, the culture is changing in those countries. We saw a video before where it's like the London is the brownest country. Kirsche said, essentially implying both the US and the UK are intended for white Europeans and Americans respectively. It is still going to change these countries irreparably for the future. Interesting. Can I hear this? I want to hear her say it. This was not a one-off comment. In April, she retweeted a White House ICE tip line for the aid of deportation of undocumented Americans. So she's a patriot. In February, she said she was happy with the mass deportations under Trump, but wanted the federal government warned that the federal government was offering undocumented Americans massive amount of free shit given on the taxpayer's dime. She even called Lawrence, Massachusetts, a no-go zone full of illegal activity. Based? It's implied that the city could only be recovered if all of its undocumented citizens were removed. If I sweeps here, it'll be a ghost town, and then maybe we can rebuild, she tweeted. Oh dear. Who wore it better body cam edition? But it was Kirsche's tweet in mid-April that drew her GamerSups partnership back into public spotlight. On April 14th, Kirsche responded to an online rumor about Carmelo Anthony, a black teen charged with killing a white 17-year-old named Austin Metcalf. A post incorrectly claimed that Anthony's family had purchased a house with online donations. Well, they get like 500,000 in donations, I believe. What are they spending that on? A rumor which spread through right-wing social media circles before being debunked by Snoops. All right, let's have a look at the debunking. It's time to debunk, champ. No, the family of 17-year-old stabbing suspect Carmelo Anthony did not buy a house, car with his donated funds. Let's see. What did they rate? Let's see. How'd they rate it? The claim spread online. What do they actually spend on it? Let's see what it says. They have not withdrawn any money from the fundraiser. So they could still buy one. They still could buy it. Maybe they're just waiting to see how much of a house they can get from that. No money withdrawn yet. Let's see if there's any information. So it's not true at the moment, but it could be true in the future. They're not credible. It's not. It's being debunked. All right, very good. Let me see. Kirsche fed into that claim. Getting a payday to buy a house by killing a white man just makes sense, Kirsche tweeted. Reparations for all. I mean, a lot of people are mad about this situation, just as a lot of people are mad about the Shiloh Hendricks situation. But let's be honest here. One person said a naughty word. One person killed a man. There's a difference in degree there. The next day, Kirsche responded by a post claiming body cameras killed the Black Lives Matter movement. Hey, look, I'm not a VTuber fan, but I'm getting there. In a quote retweet, she shared body cam stills from police altercations with Deshaun Leash and Sidney Wilson, 2 Black Americans who were shot and killed by American police officers. With one image, a police officer points a stun gun at Leith while he lunges forward. In another, Wilson holds a knife while the responding officer points a gun at her. The still is taken seconds before he discharged the weapon. Who wore it better, she tweeted. All right, let's see. Let me see here. I can actually see this on Twitter. There we go. I've never seen these before. This is the first time I've ever seen this. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. Is it? I mean, she's holding a knife. Just drop the fucking knife. Speaking of Twitter, they look AI. This one's pretty crazy. Oh my goodness. That is very funny. I've never seen that before. Context for my new body cam pic. New trope. So then she shows the video of the, I assume. And then they've got the Ghibli fight one. Come on now. They're posting the memes. I think this one's the best one. Trugger Rob says, some of my Pathfinder players are fans of Kirsche. I had to shame them for liking women. Cringe. Very true. And Solon the Lich with 200 ARS. I don't know what that is. Meet memecopium. One of the subscribers accidentally banged his head to the tune of Kanye's West's latest song. And anal violence source is short fat otaku, a massive bundle of sticks. I heard that like Kanye's new hit. What is it? What's the acronym for it? NHH. I heard it was really popular in the Philippines, and there's like videos of clubs when they're like playing it, and they're all bopping to it and stuff. That's probably unironically the first Kanye song I've ever listened to, and it's pretty catchy. But I typically don't listen to Kanye. I will say that I made an exception to listen to his newest track, NHH. It was Thailand. Same thing. Just joking. All right. I kind of want to keep reading. Like, we don't need to read the rest of this article, but I'm actually entertained by how silly it is. Let me see. What else? What other base things did she say? In both incidents, body cam video depicts law enforcement acting in self-defense. However, the implication is Kirsche's response is that Black Americans are lying about the commonality of police brutality in the United States, where 2.5 times more likely to be shot and killed by police officers as whites. At this rate, police will kill an estimated of 1,000 black men, the organization wrote. Well, they should probably not be committing crimes. Am I allowed to say that? Kirsche's mid-April post reached a breaking point for the VTuber community, causing many users on Twitter to criticize GamerSupps for partnering with the creator. One VTuber, Kaio, ended his GamerSupps partnership 2 days after Kirsche's tweet. While Kaio did not name Kirsche directly, he pointed the concern to certain creators affiliated with the brand, sharing openly bigoted views without facing any consequences. I encourage fellow creators to think about whether or not their partnerships with the company is worth continuing, Kaio wrote. I don't agree that it's a good idea to just let creators create content and try to do our best to make the best products on the internet, if it means allowing hateful people to be representing your brand. So this is a person that can't compete in the marketplace of ideas or in the content creation space. Just make better content that is not racist if you don't like racism. And surely you'll win out in the end, right? Why do you have to censor these people if their ideas are so old and they're so silly and they're so ridiculous? Just let them say what they want to say. And then people will realize it's either silly and they won't like it, or maybe you're afraid that people will notice a little bit of statistics, some trends. Maybe that's what people are worrying about. Let me see. A GamerSupps partner and her Nazi fan. Okay, so literally depicting, or not depicting, but literally dedicating part of the article to this Nazi fan. Let's see what they've got. They've got a couple of doll plushies here, and they've got let's see, some books. They've got the Sword of Christ. They've got the Violence of Voice of the People, Escape from Detroit. Sorry, I still have a bit of a cough. But if you're in Detroit, you should escape. That's why I was laughing so hard. Okay. Nobody wants to live there. All right. So anyway. Of course, Kirsche may walk herself into controversies that's impossible for gamer subs to defend. This could be the case after right-wing VTuber retweeted a Kirsche fan named Sensho Mimikyu. Sensho recently received an official Kirsche U2's plushie and posted with it one of the images shared by Kirsche. Sensho placed Kirsche's plushie next to an enormous collection of Nazi and fascist books. Let's take a look at this. Let's actually see what this says. All right, so they just posted a plushie and they seem to be wearing like fishnets. And like, if you saw this picture, would you think there was anything wrong with it? Like, unironically, if I saw this picture, I would just think it's a normal picture. It's like some books, some fancier books, and some plushie dolls. I wouldn't share those. But like, what is wrong with this image? Now, apparently, if you read all of the book names, they're all like Nazi books. I can't recognize any of these books names. I'm sorry. So it's fairly reasonable for someone to just repost this image and say, "Hey, cool, like nice little doll collection." Also, they appear to have some. I guess I'm going to out myself here because I do recognize some of these books, but they're the ones that say Yu-Gi-Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh series. But to be fair, the Yu-Gi-Oh manga is actually pretty good in the beginning because it starts off with like Yugi setting people on fire, and instead of setting people to the Shadow Realm, he just straight up murders people. So it's actually kind of based the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. I've got a bunch of notifications coming in. Who's yelling at me? What is wrong? Okay, nice, very good. And let's continue. Of course, Kirsche may work herself into a controversy that's impossible for gamer subs to defend. Oh, there we read that part. Let's see. The Nazi imagery extends to the book scene in the image, retweeted by Kirsche. The hardcover book displays features 2 books with the Iron Cross and 1 with a Nazi eagle, complete with the swastika. The 3 books shown are also more popular fascist works. Then they've got The Essential Speeches of Adolf Hitler. Well, I mean, that one. Michael by Joseph Goebbels. Yeah, okay, some of these are a little bit edgy. I'm not going to lie. While Kirsche is a political VTuber, it remains unclear if the content creator was aware of the Nazi imagery. So it's just some random person. It doesn't make any difference. Very good, very good. All right, so let's take a look now. So this person made this hit article, and then Kirsche had some edgy days, and let me see. So this is what happened after these articles came out. But I don't know, should we go to these articles first, or do you want to see what kind of person the article writer is? Let's jump right over there. This is a bit of a change of pace. So this is, give me a second here. I feel the cough coming back. Ana Valens. So this is the person that wrote that article. Ana Valens is a professional trans-trender SJW from Brooklyn, New York, and a graduate with an English major in political science minor who has been mentioned dozens of times down here on the farms already. And this is, of course, the Kiwi Farms. He is an infamous due to anything from Gamergate to once famous Zoe post-analysis video series on YouTube for his prolific, exploitive, clickbait, yellow journalism, sometimes even mentioning a certain internet stalker forum, Kiwi Farms. You may have heard this already, but this is pretty funny. All right, let's listen to this. Let's listen to the words of this influential Vice journalist. If it loads. The Kiwi Farms has some of the worst video loading. I will have to say, I probably should have preloaded these.
In the future, there are a number of institutions that emerged originally as mutual aid projects and publicly funded tech ventures, but over time they gradually became these community-run institutions where if you are a trans girl or if you are trans feminine, you can go ahead and sign up for a reservation slot to an all-day access to one of many breeding facilities.
Wait, what?
Where you get to breed the shit out of that cis girl pussy. You can absolutely devastate that shit, fucking destroy it, murder it. It's done. Like, they have to cycle the girls out because that pussy is absolutely out of commission. And so
now I would assume there's some level of parody to here, but this person would not give anyone the benefit of the doubt if they said that. So I think that we should listen to their unhinged rant in its entirety.
this originally started as just your classic breeding facility, but it was expanded over time through a Kickstarter, actually. And again, a mutual aid project. So there's a lot of cis girls in tech that really supported the venture. God bless them. They're real co-conspirators for the movement. And, now we have breeding saunas. We have breeding bookstores, breeding movie theaters. Those are really nice. You have breeding adult schools. You have breeding esports arenas.
This goes on for like another 2 minutes, by the way. This is disgusting, crazy, insane shit. So this person is oh my goodness, Mike, is the mastermind behind the Vice article. Now, where do I want to go from here for next? Okay, so after they wrote all of these articles, and this has been going on for a long time. This is not like a new development. This is from the original post from 2019. In wake of that, two events happened. The first one is that Kirsche posted this tweet, which was, I guess, last week. Or sorry, not last week. It was like 2 weeks now, right? 2 weeks, yeah. It says black text on white background jump scare, and they go on and say that they're I believe that they're saying that, like, I'm not a Nazi. These are just edgy jokes. You took this too far, but I'm also leaving gamer subs. So they're basically saying, like, sorry, I didn't mean to make you get people in trouble. It says here at the end, the conclusion, the intended goal was to cause me unnecessary harm and get my sponsors to drop me. Never apologize to cancel mobs, that's good advice, who will never be satisfied with anything you say and will continue to try and collect scalps in the crusade. However, I am sorry that GamerSubs has had to deal with a lot of people believing lies about me, even being used as a centerpiece in a slanderous article in an attempt to sway them, dropping me. To help prevent them from harm, I have asked them to remove my Twitter badge and thank all my fans who stand by me. So they kind of took a bit of a hit here. And they started to, like, celebrate the cancel mob pigs and everything. Now, then this happened. This is where things get a little bit interesting. So Kirsche posted today, and this was this morning, I believe. Hey, Vice, like some kind of secret middle of the night drop, I left you something. I made it sure it's on par with your company's journalistic quality, so you'll take it seriously. And we see in this video, you've got a bunny girl. I don't think this is Kirsche, but it's maybe one of her friends or something. And let's see what they say.
Manya!
I don't know if this is a meme in the community. I'm sorry. The manya, I don't know what that means. Is it political? I don't know. But you can see here that they've posted a envelope to this address. Now, this is actually the real address of Vice headquarters. I actually had a look at this with Google Maps, and you see here, they're not doing so well. Rental space for lease. And if you go down here as well, take a look at this. This is the very same door. So this is a pretty entertaining piece of shit posting. You can actually see, like, the little walls there and everything. They went there in the middle of the night and actually delivered this in person. Now, attached to this was a Google document. So let's see what that says. Let me see. So this is the article entitled Academics, Please Respond. This is a Vice waypoint pushing for the 2018 style counterculture for VTubing, or an open letter from Kirsche. Hey Vice, what the fuck? I'm Kirsche, a VTuber, which means I stream with a digital avatar that looks like this. And you can see you've got your fox girl. She's got her big old anime titties. You've got a pineapple and a big hat. You catch me on my stream on Twitch or YouTube. I play games, watch memes, share my thoughts on news. You know what streamers do. I basically just tangent on whatever I find interesting, and on my honorable channels effectively call me a whiplash streamer. I have over 9,000 browser tabs. Now I can relate to that. And over 184,000 fans across YouTube, Twitch, and X. Also, I am not a Nazi. They walk funny. They did too much meth and didn't like to laugh, and they probably would hate me and most of my friends. So how come you keep calling me one? Vice used to be known for honest, real stuff. Kind of like what Gorka inspired to be before, it decided to step into the ring, brother. You did a whole issue dedicated to people who are mentally ill. You sent Dennis Rodman to North Korea. You even used to call out the mainstream media for not getting YouTube. In any event, starting about a month ago, Waypoint, which is one of your verticals, a quasi-independent outlet, a failed gaming news site that you are trying to revive, something most people don't even know exists. Either way, it started publishing articles about me saying I'm a bigot, a Nazi simp, and that I'm responsible for all sorts of online harassment. This is completely untrue, of course, but also why me and why now? I am an anime foxwoman. This is a serious document, guys. Please behave. What could a once reputable news org want with me? It is 2018 all over again. Is Vice the PC police for VTubers? So again, Vice, what the fuck? Okay, let me break it down. I know I've covered this in the past couple of streams, but Vice isn't a subscriber yet. Maybe if I tangent about their Colombian donkey fucking video a few more times, I'll come around. Here's the headline from the first article you published about me, and then it's the one we opened with. Not to brag or anything, but I have over 184,000 fans. You're accusing me of bigotry because one of my fans is a Nazi? That's like saying McDonald's supports communism because Kim Jong-un likes Big Macs. Then it's HT to Kim Jong-un on X. Rather than back up this outrageous accusation, the article starts by talking about my gamer sponsor, GamerSupps. However, GamerSupps is in hot water with many VTuber fans due to the behavior of one particular creator with the company. And this is the part of the article, so I'll skip this part. This is my first time hearing about all of this supposed controversy. Literally, I've been sponsored by GamerSupps since September 2023. This is a tactic called manufacturing consensus, where activists claim everyone agrees with them to make their point seem legitimate. Note that this paragraph doesn't cite a single source. Well, they said Reddit. They said a Redditor's friend told him it was true, so it must be true. But also, it's true I've never hidden my political leanings, and yet I've never heard of any controversy until this article started pretending there was one. I had a few weirdos on Twitter harassing me, but as an oppressed person of anime, it's a POA, I guess, I'm used to this kind of thing. And the sources cited in the article are anonymous posts of Reddit. Really? Even the people making the post don't claim that they don't watch me, and they are just repeating hearsay. So a Vice journalist is repeating hearsay from someone who is repeating hearsay. Really? And then we have the second headline, VTubing has an elephant in the room. Obviously, I think this harassment is bad. I don't do it. I don't tell my fans to do it. The suggestion made repeatedly in this article is that I and my fans endorse harassment. This is totally false. In fact, fully half of the tweets quoted in this article are from a person who goes by nbinted or bint, who has been seriously harassing me for a few months. Does Ana Valens mention this in her article? No. Do I have proof of this harassment, which I could have shared if Vice bothered to ask? Absolutely. Here's just a couple of examples. So let's look at the examples, and it says, tuned in to Ku Klux Kirsche's stream for a moment. She's taken a week off, was sulking about how much her mental health has suffered from being criticized for being a hateful, vindictive crackpot. I consider that a small victory, LOL. However, they want to twist it in their minds. I'm happy that shitty people who put the, hey, you're just a Twitter freaks, front know that their life will be uncomfortable as long as they keep doing what they do. Why do people feel the need to harass people on, not harass, but why do people get so upset about this stuff? I don't get it. I don't get it. If they want peace, they can just stop profiting off of others' pain. Why don't you just look away? Cyberbullying isn't real. Just turn off your computer and go outside. Touch grass. I don't indulge in this from a place of cruelty. I take joy in knowing that she's burdened by the hatred that should burden you in some form. If not from the goat, then from the rightful consequences as minimal as people criticizing and making fun of you on Twitter. They also had another one saying, can I add, Loki set off a domino effect that led to sketchy VTuber sponsor losing thousands of dollars on my resume. So they're actually celebrating that they've caused financial damages to Kirsche by ruining this GamerSupps supplement sponsorship. But the article doesn't talk about this. Instead, the article again talks about my gamer sponsors subs and tried to make it seem like there's some sort of controversy brewing. Earlier this week, independent VTuber Rin Penrose announced the end of her partnership with GamerSupps. According to Penrose, the decision came due to an association with creators whose views strongly conflict with my own, as well as a lack of communication from these companies on the issue. Look, I love that GamerSupps supports VTubers from every side of the political spectrum. That's one of the things that makes them such an amazing partner. That and their awesome supplements. And then they've got use code Kirsche for 10% off your GamerSupps, which has been crossed out. This is kind of funny to add in because I wonder if it still works, but also obviously they've lost the sponsorship. I hope to continue my work with GamerSubs, but in an effort to cancel me is successful, I have to wonder who's next. There's a third Vice article written about me. Waypoint stand with Ana Valens. So this is just some other weirdo that's supporting this person that wanted to make the trans masculine breeding barns for straight women. Harassers are now sending me suggestions to buy rope over throne, for when the 41% is too low. Again, I agree harassment is bad. No one should do it. I don't do it. I tell my fans not to do it. The article says everything she's going through, but I'll sum it up. Ana is being attacked for simply asking questions. Hey, I'm just asking questions, buddy. About certain areas of the VTubing community of which she's an active part of. Just asking questions? Look, I read those articles pretty carefully. I don't see a lot of questions. Mostly a lot of statements based on Reddit threads or other anonymous sources. This seems like very targeted at me. Why? I'm an anime fox girl, VTuber, your Vice. What the fuck? Also, this happened in the article. The time for game is over. The games are over, chat. It's Gamergate 7, and it's no longer time for games, okay? The irony is just totally dead. Are we still talking about VTubing, right? Anyways, not to be all you started it, but you literally started it. There was no controversy. No one, apart from a few anonymous internet trolls, Vice quotes in its articles, was butthurt about what I was doing or saying on my stream until you started writing articles calling me Nazi. And now you're calling me a bully and saying it's time to start a war. This is 2018 style cancel culture all over again. Or is it VTubergate? Anyway, it's getting pretty tired. Someone says something you don't agree with, start saying they're controversial, name drop all the brands they work with, play the victim card, or rage tweet at them until their sponsors bail. This is the playbook used over and over again. Very cutesy little things here. Oh, she didn't lose her gamer spot. She just got dropped from the crime boss. I think that they removed her gamer subs badge from Twitter. So maybe you can still use code Kirsch. I did hear about the other stuff, but I'll talk about that a bit later. Anyways, if we're just asking questions, I have one. How come in the middle of this, Ana Valens is asking people to buy her gifts on Throne? Surely this isn't just some big branding opportunity for someone who wants to become the definitive VTuber Journo, right? Right? And they have like a smug face thinking about it. I don't want to go to court over this, but if you keep calling me a Nazi and keep calling for my sponsors to drop me, what else am I supposed to do? Seriously, Vice, is this what you want? You want to be the PC police for VTubers? On your front page right now, you have articles about crazy, horny mud truckers and how cool it is to be a goth in Ukraine right now. But my stream is too controversial. So I'm asking nicely, ooh, please take these articles down and stop pretending there's a controversy where there isn't. And I promise if you do, I'll go back to streaming and you can go back to reporting on the Berlin Sex Toy Expo or wherever it is you do now. Love, Kirsche. This is a pretty cute little way to say, like, look, legal threats coming if you don't back off. And do you want to know what happened? Do you want to know what happened in this? Well, after this is posted, very shortly after, Vice has bent the knee to the Fox girl. Vice has removed all 3 hit pieces on me. I'm glad they did the right thing instead of allowing a deranged ideologue to use their platform for the sole purpose of causing harm to people. Sportskeeda, which I think is an Indian website, and Stealth Optional should retract their piece of me as well in light of this. So it's a total Fox victory, apparently. I'll get rid of these. Let me see. I was going to show these as well. I forgot to, but I was going to show the actual things where they said that the tea company is telling me to kill myself, which is very funny. Again, you can use the dragonstreasure.com. You can go over there and use code COPE to get 10% off from the anime team man. He did tell this person to kill themselves, which is very funny. I think their actual I'm not sure if the team man actually said that. He said this was the Dragon's Treasure's response. Maybe you should listen to them for once. And this is in regards to them saying that they should rope themselves. So, I mean, he didn't really tell them to kill himself. He just said, like, hey, look, maybe you should listen to the advice. It's still pretty funny. As you can see, the Dragon's Treasure said, maybe you should listen to them. And Evelyn says, guys, why is a tea company telling me to kill myself? You should, though, as soon as possible, please. This is a very good cropped tweet. This is actually very funny. Although, of course, I could not condone any violence. That would be a bad thing to do. But it is funny. In fact, I believe the Dragon's Treasure received messages from people saying, like, hey, maybe you should stop sponsoring Kirsche. And then I think he told them to go off themselves as well. And then he also, the Dragon's Treasure did disavow any females, which is also very base. So we love the Dragon's Treasure. We love the Dragon's Treasure. Ana Valens says, hey, Gamer Subs, and this is them directly trying to cancel Kirsche. Hey, Gamer Subs, and you twos. A YouTuber you work with, Kirsche, has sent her followers after me. They have repeatedly told me to kill myself and commit 41%. Is this the kind of person you want to work with? A content creator who sends journalists transphobic death threats? And you can see that Anonymous suggested they just rope. I cast, this is a Farron, right? I cast the die N spell. Ooh, die N. Oh, I guess this is a short for something. Very clever. Very clever. What is this one? Anime. What? So sorry. No, it says give me the loot. Should have thought about that before slinging shit at Kirsche. You fucked up, and now you're gonna fuck with you. Also, you're not a woman. The anime team man responded saying, I would say you're misunderstanding, but we all know you're not. Kirsche hasn't sent anyone. All these people, myself included, have hated you and your coalition of insufferable tribes for longer than she existed. You could be the straightest and whitest of straight white men, and you would still be despised down to your very core. Your cancel culture tactics don't work, and I assure you that the pendulum has not finished swinging back around yet. People have had it with others who tried to destroy people's lives and livelihoods, and that is not something that will be forgiven. Very based of the T-Man. Also, we had not a new person, but a familiar face. Alyssa Mercante going to the defense of the weirdo vice journalist, saying, Kirsche has been spewing right-wing edgelord shit and is suffering from a rare consequence for it for some time now. But because the chuds have goldfish memories, they're acting brand new. George Floyd jokes, I mean, they're just funny. White replacement nonsense, the work. Hey, why can't we just talk about George Floyd? Okay, there's a lot of really good... have you guys seen the memes of George Floyd where it's like Robo George? Those are actually pretty good. Like, some people criticize AI. They don't like AI art. They don't like AI videos. They don't like AI music. But the RoboCop George stuff is pretty entertaining. He can't breathe and shit. Also, we had a familiar face in the replies of Kirsche. And we have a familiar face, which says down here. Bricada Law commented on this as well. He says, hey, Kirsche, you don't have to like me or whatever, but I'm not opposed to you in the shit. Go get him. That's all peace. So there you go. Nicky Boy running to the defense of me lady. However, which is kind of funny for this, is that if you look at if you search for his tweets from Kirsche, he said as of May 14th, who the fuck is Kirsche? People told me I was opposed to Kirsche or something. That's not true at all. So he has no idea who this person is. Just decides to jump on the train and maybe get a little bit more attention. I thought I'd just include that since the people like it. All right, what else we got here? After Kirsche was... The articles came out and people started to disassociate with Kirsche for a bit. Ben says it feels good to be a winner, not even just talking about being right about how serious sponsors view these kind of things. I've been getting some amazing support behind the scenes too. People in the community didn't expect coming from me, to thank me through vindication. Oh, that's very nice. Thorough vindication. However, after the threats of legal action began, this person, the dented person says, your first point of shaming is to try and scold me for saying you should try and feel somewhat uncomfortable for spreading dishonest, hateful message and relishing in the pain of others. You are a cry bully. You have said far crueler things about far less deserving people. Grow up. But then, I do not wish to ruin your life. I don't even wish for you to stop being a VTuber or making money. I wish for you to know some kind of guilt or consequences for the horrible things you say about people and immigrants and minorities who know more than pain for you. And basically, they ran between the tails of the legs, and they said, like, they're not going to talk about Kirsche anymore. This person bended the second that any resistance came, and they literally were trying to ruin this person's life. They celebrated that Kirsche was going to be losing potentially thousands of dollars. But now that the lawsuits are on the table, it's time to scuttle back into the darkness. Now, this person allegedly lives in Japan. I don't know about that. Some people have suggested that they're one of those weirdos that pretends to be living in Japan, but actually lives in like Southeast Asia or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But the rats are fleeing the ship, which is good to see. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Oh my gosh. I thought my threat would be recovered by now. Let me see. Here's some of the victory posts as of 18 hours ago. Vice tries to smear Kirsche. Article put out by someone being mad by being rejected by Valua. And this is the crux of it all, is that this weirdo person that wants to build barns for breeding straight women because they're a weirdo, and that wants to be a woman was rejected for not being feminine enough, and now they're going to try and take down other people because it's the only way that they can get enjoyment in the world is causing harm to others. Outright libel, none of it is true. Woke VTubers back it. VTweeter scum support it. Crime Boss, I think Crime Boss is like a game, right? Drops Kirsche as a sponsor. Journo shills call it VTubergate to purge the alt-right from VTubing. A few days pass. Crime Boss review bombed into oblivion and players leave. Suffer. Author gets outed as a pedo with great fantasies towards women. Oof, suffer. Vice deletes the article in shame. Total Fox victory. There you go. There you go. Okay, don't need that now. And what is this? $10 for you? Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. 10 Hong Kongian dollars. He says $10 for you and no bucks for Nick. Ooh, woo. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All righty, all right. That basically sums up this Fox situation. So let's go into, should we go into Denims? Do you guys want to go into Denims or do you want to go into Vitaly? I think we'll go into Denims. These are kind of short articles. We might have time to watch a Roach person video. We'll see about that. Suffer Crap Box. Homebound, a movie from New Zealand. I haven't seen that. All right. So Denims is this airheaded woman. She's an OF curator, and she's basically the Hassan waiting groom. And she was in that H3 video, right? You know her. I don't think anyone really likes her. She just does react tubing all day. She never really adds any content or transformative nature. She just sits there going, that's insane. That's crazy. Anyway. So when was this? This was May 9th. May 9th, she says, Ethan Klein, retract or you may, and this is because the CPS was called on Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein, retract or you may want to replace your lawyer who can't do shit. Despite publicly acknowledging that I have never endorsed and never denounced calling CPS on, and even denounced calling CPS on Ethan, he has continued to spread malicious lies. And you have ethankleideline.com, which I think was iDubbbz's idea or some shit, which was really stupid. We should hold influential creators like this to the same standard that we hold anyone else. I am going to do my part. If Ethan Klein doesn't retract his lies about me, I will look into legal avenues to convince him that he should have it. So we've got a lawsuit. We've got a lawsuit. Now, we talked about this. We talked about this a little bit. She has currently raised $46,000, which is only 31% of her goal. Now, anyone that knows anything about defamation lawsuits know that you will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some cases, as much as $650,000 if your bumpkin Texas lawyer doesn't know how to stamp a document correctly, or if you just think that your jokes are really funny and you want to hire the most expensive defamation lawyer in the country and throw away perhaps excesses of $200,000 and maybe more when Monty takes you to the bank. We'll see about that. But $46,000 isn't enough for a defamation lawsuit. Far, far from it, especially when you're going up against Ethan Klein, who is one of the chosen, and he has a lot of money and a lot of attitude that he wants to go into a lawsuit. Now, we did look at this before, but basically it's pretty short. It says, Ethan Klein lied about me for supporting CPS coming to my home. This is not true. She absolutely encouraged people to call CPS on Ethan because she was spreading the malicious and defamatory lies that Ethan's floor was covered in shit and he was feeding his kids shit and things like that. That's not what happened. And Ethan was oversharing. They did have a Giardia scare, but there was actually no Giardia in the house. If he doesn't retract this, GoFundMe is for legal fees. They hold him responsible for his lies. Now, there's actually an edit here. There was a line that said, if this does not get funded or if Ethan retracts, she will refund everybody. She removed that from the article, and some people thought that this was a quick scam, that she was going to get a lot of money from this. That's actually just part of GoFundMe's terms of service or something, allegedly. Then she's got a legal notice, which we went through on a previous stream, and debunking CPS lines, which is her garbage video. And then she's modified it to comply with the terms of service, and she posted this picture, and that's just proof of the email with GoFundMe saying that she can't include that thing. But as of today, Denims said, 1 week, 1,600 donations, and $46,000 later, I'm refunding the GoFundMe. So she's given up. She's failed. She's thrown in the towel. It's over. The Jews win again, and Israel belongs to them, and the Palestinians have been driven out. Because I don't know if you know this, but literally the battle in Israel is actually not taking place in Israel in the Middle East. It's taking place on Twitch and YouTube. And if Ethan Klein wins, That means Israel wins. And if Hassan and Frogan and Denims win, that means that Palestine wins. Okay, so all of this is really important, and it definitely is having an effect on global affairs. But anyway, she's refunding, she's retreating. It is a total Ethan Klein victory. If and when I go forward as a plaintiff, I will be self-funded. This is her cope, is that she's saying that she's still thinking about doing it, but she's going to use her own money, because that makes sense. Thank you, everyone, for proving Ethan wrong. How? How did he do this? His behavior is unacceptable and people do care. Proceeding with a defamation suit against Ethan is a monumental undertaking. His suit is with Kavanaugh, started almost 4 years ago and is still ongoing. So she's understanding just how expensive and pointless this is. And she's like, well, she's like, now wait a minute. I mean, if everyone was going to pay me to do this lawsuit, maybe I was going to go through with it. But now that it's actually, because if she got this, like basically $50,000, she's looking at a bill for $200,000 to $400,000 to go along with this. This thing is going to go on forever. Ethan is going to keep it going out of spite. She realized that she didn't have the backing that she was hoping for, even though like people were dropping like $1,000, $50. There were some big donations on this 2 days ago. Free Palestine, $10, $50, $5, $10. Wake up, Ethan, free Palestine. She didn't get the backing that she was expecting by being Hassan's lapdog. Very sad, but you love to see it. His suit with Kavanaugh started almost 4 years ago and still going. I don't want to fundraise to start a fight that I can't finish. So she's just admitting that she's bitching out. Look, I don't want to start a suit that I can't win. And I feel that I've let down those that have donated. With that in mind, if this journey is a journey I wish to undertake, I'll be doing it with my own funds. I'll be keeping you all posted if anything happens while the statute of limitation runs for the next year. And I'll be elaborating on Stream Friday. I appreciate all of your support. It means more to you than you know. And you know that you're a winner when you've made your account. Only people that she follows can reply to this. So she locked the thread. How very sad. How very embarrassing. I mean, what is this except it's a total Israeli victory? What can you say about this? We were hoping for a fun lol suit, but I guess it's not going to happen today. Maybe next time. We'll see. We'll see. That's the update on that. Let's get into the Vitaly story. So Vitaly, as you may remember, is a nuisance streamer who went to the Philippines. Now, in the Philippines, he harassed some old ladies. He threatened to rob them as a prank. He threatened to steal someone's motorcycle as a prank. He stole a police officer's hat and other things, and it looked like he was stealing their guns as a prank. It was all a prank. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. But the Philippines said, you know what? Actually, no. And they arrested him. Now, the problem is that in the Philippines, there's a lot of corruption. The justice system is not great unless you can bribe people. And the conditions of the prisons are awful. And we've already said that we think that Vitaly is probably never coming out of the prisons. We had a look at the documentary where we saw just how terrible these prisons are. But we actually have an update. We have an update on Vitaly's situation coming from inside the court. And this is coming from Legal Mindset, who, as you can see, Legal Mindset has taken all of the VTuber money and he's fled to his private island where he's just counting his Johnny Somali super chats and all of the memberships from the anime things. And he's just, you know, The Simpsons when that fat guy's like, oh, it's too hot today. That's what Legal Mindset's doing right now. Okay, so let's see what he has to say about this situation as he counts his hundreds of thousands of super chats.
Hey everyone, Legal Mindset here. Wanted to give you an update on the Vitaly situation because we have some new news. Of course, I'm on vacation, but you know, because that's something that Vitaly and Somali cannot do at all right now, I figured it'd take good time to give a quick update, especially since there's a little bit of misinformation out there and also some new news to update people on, which I've just come into possession.
All right, so he's got the new news. But before we get to the new news, how are we rating this shirt? I could never wear this shirt, okay? I could not wear this shirt. If you think this is a good shirt, press 1. If you think this is a bad shirt, press 2. Because that's what we do in this stream, is we review people's t-shirts, okay? I think this is a bit garish. I could not wear it.
Of today, so I can now disclose you more information about Vitaly.
10
Some
out
of
of
which
10.
I've been
Come on.
holding on for a while, some of which I've been, keeping in the pocket, and some of which came out today. So, of course, Vitaly is still in the Philippines. He has not been deported
South
to
of
the US
Vitaly.
or to Russia or really to anywhere pending his trial, which is expected to take 2 to 3 years to get to the trial, at which point he will be sentenced. The expectation is at least a couple years, Now, some people have said it could be up to 31 years. I don't think that's going to be the case. I, in fact, think that it'll be a smaller amount of time, a lesser amount of time. However, I think it will be a significant amount of time. I don't think it's going to be, 6 months. I think a year, 2 years, 3 years would be enough, particularly since he was pending, 2 years in jail and another year or two. I think that would be sufficient, but we'll see what he ultimately gets. So a lot of people have been talking about potentially delivering food to Vitaly, saying that they're going to bring him food, they're going to hook him up. That is absolutely not happening. I can confirm.
Oh, no. Now, this is a problem that you get in a lot of these third world countries or Southeast Asian prisons, is that sometimes they don't give you the best food. In fact, they're giving Vitaly less than $1 a day to support himself in prison. You could be feeding an African child or this Russian prankster. It's up to you. But even his friends, and now some people have said that Vitaly has like millions of dollars saved up from all of his prankster days, because he had like 9 million subscribers back in the day. But they can't even bring him food. So he's starving. His muscles are wasting away. And he was a big dude. Like, he was a buff dude. But they're not letting anything in. No special food. It's just the slop, prison $1 a day slop for the next potentially 2 years, because that's how long it takes to get to trial in these countries, about 2 years.
Confirm that Vitaly is not getting food runs from supporters. There are some crazy supporters out there that do indeed support Vitaly, despite all of his insanity. But he is not getting food. There's a lot of reasons for that. First of all, his antis, his haters, could bring him tainted food. And if they just allowed any food by, well, then he could get poisoned. And, of course, they're not going to be able to test the food. They can't run tests on every piece of food, every sandwich, every burger, every piece of spaghetti or Jollibee that gets brought into Vitaly. So because of that, and because they can't really do anything to test that, they are absolutely not allowing food to be brought in. And that's something that is not happening right now. If it does change, or if there's some sort of circumstance that we get knowledge of, we'll let you know, but that is not happening as of date. The other thing is Vitaly is having a really bad time in prison.
Oh, no. Suffer, Vitaly. He's not having fun. Wait, it's just a prank. It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
I can now tell you that he is having reactions. He is having arrhythmias. People are speculating in the prison this may be due to withdrawal, whether that's from drugs or steroids or whatever else, but he is having severe or intense health issues, which we're going to follow up on, but they're not going to release him for that. They're taking care of that in the hospital. He's, of course, not going to die. He'll be fine.
I don't know about this. I don't know about this. He's having arrhythmia. He's having the shakes. He's having to go cold turkey. He's lost out of his steroids. He's going to come out of there looking like he's going to be a ladyboy if he gets out at all, okay? That's what he's going to look like. He's being introduced to Felice Johnson right now. So he says, like, he's not going to die. I'm not so sure about that. Like, some of these prisons, especially if you're a white guy, no friends, no resources, no money, no support. I don't know about that. 2 years is a long time to be in a box.
But he's not going well in jail. So it may be that he was on substances or hopped up on some sort of steroid or something else that was changing his brain chemistry and just making him enter, demon time or go crazy. We're going to have to see that as it goes. But of course, I'm going to keep you posted on all updates Vitaly, whether that's the court case, whether that's his health, the jail. And we're still working on to see if we can get some footage from inside the jail. If we can do that, that'd be great. I also will have an interview on Friday. I'm not sure when it'll be published, but I'll be doing it on Friday with Eric with a big media account. So we'll be giving you updates from that as it goes. Until then, guys, catch you next time.
All right. So he's never, I'm going to spoil this, but Legal Mindset's never returned to YouTube. He's taken the money and ran, and he's already retired. You can see here, he's on his own little island in the Caribbean, and he scammed us all. He got me. He tricked me too. No, just joking, obviously. He's having a nice little vacation. He needs to stop using the term antis. I think that's like a VTuber. Isn't that unironically like a VTuber phrase? He is Weeble Mindset after all. But something that's strange is that I found this character, and here it is. So there's a character called Bask TV. Bask TV. He has about 400,000 subscribers. And this is an old-time YouTube prankster. And actually, I believe he is a friend of Vitaly. And he's been putting out these new videos. He's not doing too great. Let's see, you've got like the media lied about Vitaly, 2,000 views. The truth about Vitaly, it's bigger than you think, 3,000 views. So he's basically sweeping for Vitaly, but it's not being very effective. And he's decided that his 400,000 subscriber channel, since it's not doing so good, he just started a new channel. And it says, Vitaly broke the law, but you're still acting like he's Pablo Escobar. So we might take a look at this and see what his actual content is, because this is a new channel. He's only got 100 subscribers and only just under 300 views. Let's check out what he has to say. Watch this in 1.25 speed. And maybe we'll watch a Roach video after that. We'll see. We'll see. Why am I watching this on 4K? Put this down. There we go. I'll put it down to 720p. All right. This ain't CNN. If you're looking to get offended today, you're in the right
place. I want to call out
place.
all the hypocrites who suddenly think they're the ones who get to decide what's right and wrong. For example, this YouTuber...
Legal... Wait, we got to play the clip, right? We got to play the clip. I didn't have it ready, though.
Legal mindset! Legal mindset! Legal dick suckers, more like it. Legal mindset!
Oops, I played it, double played it. All right, let's see what he says.
Legal mindset. This guy spent months making video after video about Johnny Somali, and as soon as
what's the problem? Like, this is one of the things. This is the biggest criticism people have of legal mindset, is that he talks about things people want to hear about, which is very silly. These people would do anything to get views. They're literally robbing people on the streets to try and get views. That's what Vitaly was doing. But it's like, how don't you dare talk about him? Don't you dare talk about him? I thought there was no such thing as bad publicity, right?
After video about Johnny Somali, and as soon as Vitaly got locked up, he jumped right into that too, dropping...
Oh my goodness, rat. That legal rat set. Covering topics people want to hear about. How dare he? How dare he?
Clips nonstop like it's his personal drama show. And you know what really gets
me? It
me?
is. Like, this is the thing. If you go to another country, you become a dick, and people get some enjoyment about seeing the instant justice that is very much deserved. Yes, you are their personal drama. It's their stories. People, why do you think people watch the news? Okay, people watch the news because there's international stories is entertaining. The majority of us, we can't do shit about the conflicts going on in other countries. We watch it because we think it's interesting and we like to feel informed. What is wrong with that? Oh my goodness, he's making money. How could he do this? It's so strange. This is the only piece of criticism they have for these people.
He's clearly loving it.
Have fun with that. He's going to sit for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it's called Schadenfreude. I'm also enjoying Vitaly suffering because, like I said, he tried to take advantage of and cause distress to innocent people who just trying to go through their day for the purposes of clout, for the purposes of money, for the purposes of enriching his own life. So yes, seeing him suffer gives you that sense of instant justice that often in life we don't get. Usually so many bad people get away with what they do in life. When you see a case of someone getting what they fucking deserve after they fucked around, yeah, it gives you a little bit of joy. Imagine that.
Just for the trial.
Dude's practically excited of the thought of another creator getting taken down. He's not here to educate or help. He's putting on a show.
Well, he does actually educate and help quite a bit. So this is just factually inaccurate.
I get it. He's a lawyer. But like my buddy, who's also a lawyer, says, every lawyer is just a crook in a suit. Not saying that's
true. I mean, I know a lawyer who's a criminal, so he's an actual criminal. So I guess this is correct.
100% true, but man, sometimes it really feels like it. Where was all this energy when people like me and a whole wave of creators were doing prank videos for years? You all watched, you all laughed, you all shared the content. Nobody said a word, but now suddenly everyone wants to act like saints because it's convenient and trending. And just a heads up, in case Legal Mindset decides to strike this video, I am invoking fair use under US copyright law. This is transformed.
Has Legal Mindset ever striked a video? Like, this guy thinks that his takes are so important. Like, this guy thinks, like, I feel like I'm punching down actually, because like I said, this video only has 286 views. So I'm giving it like twice as much exposure than it already had. So maybe he should thank me. This is also a transformative video. So he should remember that I am transforming and reacting to his video. So don't he dare attack me for this. But like, he has a channel with 400,000 people. So I feel like I'm allowed to to comment on this one, right? As I try not to punch down. I try not to. You always want to punch up. That's the best way to do things. But like, this guy thinks that his takes and his point of view is so amazing and so powerful that that people are going to try and take him down by abusing the YouTube system, which I don't think that Andrew has ever done. Anyway,
informative and criticism, not a re-upload. You know, the exact same kind of use he claims to rely on his own channel description. So if he suddenly forgets how fair use works, I've got a screenshot ready for you, buddy. I'm seeing all these YouTubers, lawyers, keyboard warriors acting like they've always been the moral authority, warning people not to come to their countries and disrespect the locals. Funny how nobody had anything to say when this kind of content was all over their feeds, getting likes and shares. I filmed the same kind of content here in the States for years, and so did plenty of others. We had millions of views, the same people used to watch our videos, liked them, laughed at them, and
what the? He's actually like, this guy's actually insane, because he's saying like, I used to be a prankster. I used to do these pranks that everyone hated. Did anyone actually ever respect the pranksters? Now, don't get me wrong, prank videos get a lot of views. A lot of people would like the videos. A lot of people would watch the videos. A lot of people would share the videos. But did anyone actually ever respect a prankster? The meme, it's just a prank, exists for a reason. Like, this guy's just saying, well, I'm a rat too. I'm just like not Johnny Smiley. I'm just like Vitaly. But people used to love me. Well, they don't love him now, apparently. This is embarrassing. What are you talking about? Oh, you like, there can be pranks which are harmless and funny in public, but the majority of pranks on YouTube is just torturing people in public and then have them having no recourse.
never said a word. But I guess that was fine. The moral code only kicks in when a plane lands in Asia. Suddenly, it's not about what's right or wrong. It's about geography-based outrage.
Geography-based outrage?
Lands in Asia. Suddenly, it's not about...
These people are working. These are masseuses in, I guess, Thailand or the Philippines. They're working. They do not want to be filmed, and you continue to film them. And you're like, well, now it's just geography-based outrage. Like, I thought this was America. I could just film you in public in Thailand. What do you mean?
What's right or wrong? It's about geography-based outrage.
This is just like, just stop filming him. Geography-based outrage. Vitaly literally threatened people, and it's just a prank. They don't know that. They go through the emotions, the same emotions that you would feel if you were held up to a knife and asked to hand over your purse. When Vitaly, a big muscular guy, says in a very serious voice, I'm robbing you, hand over your bike, hand over your purse. They don't know that. Okay. What the fuck? That's not okay. Filming these people that are getting a massage is not okay. This is, oh my gosh. He actually has this guy just has no ability to think about someone else's point of view. He's literally just like, well, I got a lot of likes on my videos when I was doing pranks, so surely this is okay. No.
Now that topic is trending, now that they can get clicks and clout off Vitaly's case, they all over it. Let's be honest, this is not just about Vitaly being a bad guy. I saw some comments apparently from Philippines, I mean, they know better than I do, saying that the president of Philippines wants to make an example out of him because election is coming up. And honestly, that makes more sense than half the narratives being pushed right now. He's being treated like a criminal mastermind, like a serial killer, when in reality, it's just politics. This isn't about the justice, it's about optics, and the hypocrisy is wild. Now, let's actually look at what Legal Mindset pulled up on the screen. These so-called charges Vitaly might be facing, things like attempting to kiss or grab a security guard, trying to seize a service weapon, filming without consent, mocking a guard, vlogging without a permit, harassing an old woman, harassing an instructor.
All right, let's have a look at these. Okay, so harassment of a Boracay instructor. He absolutely did this, and he also directed his fan base to go vote down this guy and actually hurt his business. Absolutely, he should be penalized for this. Harassment of an old woman. Of course, you should be penalized for harassing an old woman. Vlogging without a permit in... now, this one is technically a crime because you don't have a work permit visa in a lot of these countries. So I don't feel like this one... This is one of those things where it is technically a crime, but I don't actually have a problem with it because there's no victim here. I don't really care about that. Mocking security guards. I mean, fuck around and find out. Taking videos without consent. This is a crime in many countries. In America, it is not you have no expectation of privacy when you're in public. But this is not the case in many Asian countries. Trying to seize a firearm. Now, this is a stretch, by the way. I do not think that Vitaly was trying to steal a firearm, but the fact that they added this means that he's fucked. Okay, and they can absolutely make the argument that he was trying to do that and he just failed to succeed. And again, this just falls under fuck around and find out. Attempting to kiss and grab a security guard. This is absolutely true, and that is assault. So he gets what he fucking deserves.
Seriously? Pranksters on YouTube, including myself, have done way wilder, more extreme stuff on camera. And for years, this kind of content got views, got praised, got promoted by the...
He's literally showing himself being a fucking asshole, and he's like, you should have sympathy for me. This guy should suffer too.
The same platforms and people who are now pretending they've always been against it. Some of these so-called charges feel scripted as hell, like they're digging for anything they can throw at him. Obviously, the footage is out there. He was streaming live, so it's pretty simple for court to process this case. But it's pretty clear they're building a mountain out of the molehill, blowing everything out of proportion just to lock him up.
I'm actually happy that their code is mixed. They don't have to pick mode A or mode B. They can just use whatever law they want to prosecute it, which actually is great.
It's like a bunch of Karens just sat down and then decided, let's just make an example out of Vitaly. Let's throw him.
Should Vitaly be made an example of? I think he has to be, because one of the things that people are so invested in this story is that nobody is actually getting what they deserve. People were mad that Johnny Somali didn't suffer in Japan more, even though Johnny's punishment in Japan was pretty serious, by the way. He was in detention for multiple months. Japanese prisons are not nice. For the severity of Johnny's crimes, he basically got what he deserved. The problem was that he had so much... the earning potential is so great from these nuisance streamers that the suffering that he actually went through was kind of just the price of doing business. Like, for a normal person doing these things, it would be fine. But then he went right back to Korea and did the same thing, because he was trying to get that bag of like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. So now he's getting what he deserves in Korea. And one of these people has to be made an example of. That's the point. This will keep going on if these countries are just like these places where people can go and they can take advantage of the high trust societies. They can take advantage of these people that are so welcoming and so open, and they can basically transform all of the goodwill that these countries have for foreign tourists into their own bank accounts and then leave and never return. Burn their bridges and then leave and go back to their mansions in America or whatever, while he's draft dodging from Russia because he's a Russian citizen. Anyway, this guy goes on for a bit more, but I think that's basically what I wanted to see for it. Do you guys want to watch a roach video? Another one of those Japanese roach people videos? Maybe we'll do that to wind down the stream. Let me see here. But I might take another look at this guy. He kind of just waffles on. He yaps a bit and talks about the same thing. He's just trying to get it over 8 minutes. This is kind of a tell in these videos. You see, it's like 8 minutes and 6 seconds. He's desperately trying to get over that for the sweet 5 ad spots. Although this video isn't monetized yet because it's a new channel. He realized that his audience is dead. This is what happens when you don't use a YouTube channel for a long time, is you have like 450,000 subscribers, but you can't get over, 2,000 views on a video or something. Very sad. So he tried to make a new one to get some more attention. Doesn't seem to be working for him. And like I said, it's just kind of embarrassing. Lawyer up. No roaches. Petite some people like the roach content. Hold on. Let's end this post. I'll ask the chat. We'll go back to the Fox girl so I can trick people into coming back into the thing. We'll see. We'll actually start a poll. Let me see. Watch roach people bid. We'll see what the chat says. Lot stream. All right. I'll give you a quick break. I need to go to fill up me water. So I'll play the Stoney's commercial, even though people tell me it's not factually accurate anymore. That doesn't matter. Okay, Stoney's beers are now $2.50, but I will be right. Where the fuck is it? I literally can't find it. What the heck? Did I delete it? There it is. All right, be right back, chat.
Are you tired of drinking alone, or worse, with boring people? Hi Minnesota, I'm Meme McGill, and do you want to experience the kind of atmosphere where the drinks flow as freely as the gossip? Then come on down to Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. At Stoney's, we don't just serve drinks, we serve connections. Some legal, some not so much. Need a spot to discuss your latest scheme, or just want to unwind after a long day of avoiding responsibilities? Well then come on down to Stoney's, where the drinks are cold and the secrets are spicier than our famous Ultimate Bloody Marys. Whether you're planning your next big hustle or just looking for a good time, Stoney's is the place to be. We've got pool tables, karaoke nights, and the only thing more colorful than our drinks is our clientele. Hey look, you didn't hear this from me, but did somebody say $2 cans on Thirsty Thursdays? Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At Stoney's Bar, every night's a wild card, and the house always wins, unless you're buying the next round. Just remember that what happens at Stoney's stays at Stoney's. Well, that is until the next town hall meeting. Just check out all of our testimonials. Stoney's Bar, Rockville, Minnesota.
All right, we're back. We're back. All right, the chatters are currently the yes people are winning. Okay, I know some people don't like the roach content. Unless you have any other suggestions, don't have. Tomorrow we might have something very interesting. Oh, what is this? All right, we'll check out this one. This is a new one. Hoarded home. Client in her 20s. This is a couple, I believe. Also, this is we got it. Some people don't understand the Roach Girl content. Okay, the Roach Girl content is these Japanese hoarders that live in these disgusting houses. But the thing is, we have to build up our tolerance to disgusting houses because it seems like the body cam footage is being delivered to the Kiwi farms as we speak. Well, it's probably going to take like another week or two or something, I assume. If it is the body cam, we don't actually know. But it has been hinted. Of course, if you weren't here for the last stream, what happened is that Null of the Kiwi farms, he posted a cryptic message saying, is there anyone that can go to Spicer for me in person? And then he was suggesting one of the people that went to Nick's first trial. And why would people be going there in person? Well, in theory, to pick up some physical documents or perhaps a flash drive. These police departments, they usually use thumb drives or CDs or whatever, or like, you know, when everyone's finished. The time frame is about right because they needed about 50 working hours to censor all of the minors in the videos. So it certainly could be the body cam, but we don't know. But what else could it be? That's the question. Additionally, Null went onto a stream with Ethan Ralph of the illustrious Kill stream, and he showed, he said that like they made a bet for $5,000 that that Null could get the body cam, and then Null said he had already lost. So it seems like we are getting it. So anyway, we have to build up our tolerance to disgusting, filthy homes before we watch the all-day body cam stream, because otherwise we won't be able to be prepared. This one looks fairly tame, okay? I previewed this one a little bit because I know that some people liked it. It's not as sad as the other ones, and this one I believe is a couple, so we're going to learn about their ways, and I'll try and narrate it for some of it because it's all in Japanese, but it's got subtitles. All right, let's begin. All right, so here is the today's site is a property where a young married couple lives. Become a horde. Work is now completed. It's taken an entire day. This one's actually not too bad, actually. We can probably skip past the intro. All right, let's see this house. Please show us around. Can't even see the floor. Usually there's like fun things to find in these videos. This one we found the remote straight away. I think the most disgusting thing that I can see right here is the like used ear cleaning tools here. You know, the little cotton swab things. That's absolutely disgusting. But there's like no dildos on the floor like the previous one we saw. So that's a good start. This one's off to not too bad so far. All right, they eat. This is where they eat. This is where they eat. You can see they've been collecting their masks. Now, people in Japan wear masks all the time. So this is pretty common. Let me just grab the chat over here. This is where she does her makeup too. So she sits on this pile of... Isn't there some sort of sense of irony here? She sits on a pile of trash. This is actually a chair being devoured by the floor. Then she sits inside of a mirror and she's got her hair straightener and all of her makeup shit. And then she makes herself look beautiful while she's surrounded in garbage. I just don't understand. Do you also cook here? They don't cook. What a surprise. They're too lazy. They just microwave everything. Yeah, it's basically Japanese hoarders. That's what we're watching right now. There's nowhere they can put their feet. They just have boxes and boxes. This is like a box of tea. Although sometimes people just use it for like spare boxes and stuff like that. They don't use this room for anything but laundry. So it seems like they just throw their dirty shit into this room when they're ready to go. I've heard that's the same as a certain other person's house, but we'll have to see. This is their bed? This is where they sleep. They're like surrounded by a little panda, a Pikachu doll, and like a million tea bottles. This makes me uncomfortable, but I can't look away. I know some people don't like it. Like it's like a really close 50-50 split where half the audience loves the roach content and half of them hate it. So I'll try not to do it too much, even though I find this really fascinating because I just cannot understand living like this.
もうここも寝ながら食べたりとかっていう感じです。なるほど。
There's a little whale, a little beluga whale here. That's pretty cute too.
ペットボトル多いですね。
そうですね。飲んでそのまま枕元で飲み物置いとく癖あって、
はい。
そのまま置いて、起きても捨てない。
日頃から片付ける習慣って前まではあったんですか？
昔から苦手ではありましたね。
あ
でも仕事しだしてか
あ、やっぱり。
らしんどい。
She's just too tired when she gets home. So she's just drunk and goes to sleep as soon as she gets home. They've got a lot of manga here. The manga actually looks pretty clean. They've got a little Gengar doll. So it seems like this couple is just like, there's a man and a woman here. And neither of them can do any shit. They just go play like the UFO catcher games, the gacha games, and then they go off and do their own thing. The Roach Motel, yeah.
3年ぐらい。
I hope they do tell us what their jobs are. That's what always something right. It wasn't so bad when I lived with my mum. So when her mum was cleaning everything, it was fine. They've got like a big box of Ferrero Rochers just here as well for some reason. Hoarders always have the most esoteric like shit. Like, why would you keep like a Ferrero Rocher package next to all your tea bottles and crap? The music is really cute though. The husband does nothing either. Very disappointing. So they just keep buying shit and it just keeps piling up. I assume this is how most hoarders operate. But is it really so hard? And Japanese houses are very small too. Like it's very easy to just get rid of trash because you don't have much room for trash. But somehow life finds a way. It's all about feng shui. Keep the goblins out. That's a good question. A good one, I think. Don't know. They need Aaron. Yeah, they need a responsible person in their house to cook SpaghettiOs for them. They can't just keep microwaving shit, unfortunately. He was the real hero. Not all heroes wear capes. Does the rubbish have to be sorted? This is true. In Japan, you have to sort your trash, and they live in the Kansai area, which is fairly close to where I am. I mean, I'm in the Kansai area, but so they're going to be close to me. And the cleaning laws are very annoying. Like you can't put plastic bottles in with the burnable garbage. You're supposed to sort your tin, your glass, and everything. Usually, I try and sneak everything into the burnable except for tin and glass. I do separate my tin and glass, okay? I do that much, but the milk cartons, I'm not washing those fucking milk cartons to separate them. So I can understand it being frustrating, but again, how can you live like this? It's just, and there's two people. Like usually with hoarders, you see one person that's lost control of their life, but you have two people that have found their perfect match, which is really quite phenomenal, I suppose. I mean, there's somebody out there for somebody, right? Like if you're sitting there forever alone, saying you can't get a wife or something, like this man found his garbage queen, and you're just sitting there, like, come on, apply yourself. Getting rid of cardboard is really annoying, actually. That's true.
ヘッドホンの充電器か。判断が早い。
今日何が何かと思い出す。大体。この辺のものはキックは処分で。はい。
They've got a fucking Christmas present here. There's like a Christmas present that's all wrapped up and bundled from they never even opened. What's going on here? Based frog. Yes, it's the Japanese cleaning frog. What's really bothering me is this kettle. Like if we enhance this, we're doing our trash enhancement. Hold on a second, I'll show what I mean. This is just dangerous. Like this is just dangerous. Like unironically, you've got this kettle here, electric kettle. Look at this shit. It's halfway off the table. This thing's gonna be having boiling hot water. It's gonna spill, and the trash is just gonna ignite when the water goes over the cables or something, and then it starts to spark. This is just fucking like, you just can't live like this. This is actually living on the edge. I'm surprised they didn't blur this package. The privacy laws in Japan are very strict. That's why she's blurred. Of course, she doesn't want to be known as a dirty hoarder. But usually they'll blur out that stuff as well. They're literally talking about anime. They're talking about Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, the Tanjiro merch, Tanjiro and Nezuko, and I don't know the rest of the names in that show. This is the problem. This is what anime. This is what anime leads to. You do one anime, you take one hit of anime, and it's a gateway into being a hoarder. Please keep all of my Demon Slayer merch. This is where it begins, chat. This is where all of it begins. Throwing away all her clothes, but keeping the Tanjiro merch intact. It's nice that this one's actually kind of wholesome. Like the ones we saw with the prostitutes last time, those ones were like kind of hopeless and sad. And although one of them had a nice happy ending where she gets like a job and like is clean cut by the end of the episode, this one is like she's actually helping out. So she's actually trying to put her effort in. I feel like it's this one's a lot better upbeat. Like I tried to pick one that wouldn't make people depressed because like some people actually message me saying like they can't watch that because it's too disappointing. For some reason, I really enjoy it. It's fascinating to me, looking into the life of Sun, a life that I'll never live. Although they are exposing her underwear on the floor here, which is kind of embarrassing for Japanese people, but it is what it is. It's also fascinating that these are always tatami mat rooms. Also, they've got like the holes in their paper doors, which is never a good sign. But I guess like the tatami mat floored apartments are like the cheaper ones, so it makes sense. I'm just always shocked that there's like a hidden tatami mat because when I first moved over to Japan, I had a tatami mat room as well, and they told me about how I had to keep it super clean and I couldn't put any chairs on it and stuff, or I'd have to pay for the tatami mats. And I actually kind of like the tatami mats. They're kind of a nice smell in summer. But I'm always shocked at the secret reveal. Also, Patrick H gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much. I also have this exact AU bag because it's my phone company as well. I'm noticing they seem to have like 1 million Pokemon stickers on their fridge. At least I hope these are Pokemon and not some sort of awful furry creations. This is very reminiscent to the first apartment that I ever had, though. I had like the very small kitchen with the sink and everything. It's a bit nostalgic, as they say. They did a pretty good job so far. This is just unrecoverable. Oh my goodness. It's like, what is it? Nurgle is like seeping in through the corners here. This is, you're going to have to burn this. There's no way. The apartment looks tidy and comfy. Like Japanese apartments are pretty comfy. They've just got bad soundproofing, and they're very cheap as well. Like this sort of apartment probably costs like $200 American a month or something. Although I might skip over the sink. I don't like the sink stuff. It's too gross. All right. All right, the reveal. Let's see what they did the before and after. There's still dishes. This is unrecoverable. I'm sorry, you just cannot live here. This is not only is it mold, but it's oil stains from their stovetop. And I used to have this exact stovetop. That's pretty gross. Brandon says, here's your money for your Tanjiro merch, Bish. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's pretty bad. The rest of the house is good. Like this, if we just ignore like that side, it's okay. The frog is so happy. That's good. Again, this is just I guess they could. Can you paint over mold, or is it just not work? I don't know. Mold is a big problem in Japan. Like, it gets so humid. If you've got if you remember, you can use the bleach pictures. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to run low. This is amazing transformation though. Like, this is actually shocking. Like, look at that. It starts from this. The question is, do you think this is better or worse than Nick's house? Press 1 if you think it's better, and 2 if you think it's going to be worse.
Eh, では作業終了いたしました。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。作業を終えてどういう気持ちですか？
Oh, she's happy. So this is a happy ending.
まあ綺麗になったんですけど、この機会にこれからも片付けていこうかなと思いますか？はい。まあこまめにゴミ出しとしていただいて、はい。ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。
太田さん。
はい。That was a good one. That was a good one. Look at that. Apparently they burned 1,500 calories. Wait, what? Let's have a look. Wait, they actually have like a fitness breakdown. This guy looks pretty fit. Like, let's see what happens. How many total steps did you take? This is actually interesting.
まあ万歩計測ってたんですけども、はい。記録の方がですね、見えますか？
All right, so he had 33 flights of stairs, 1,500 steps. He burned 1,500 calories. It's incredible. Like, this is the true secret to fitness, is just cleaning up your shit.
15,671
カロリー換算で
Oh wow, amazing.
544 calories.
Good cardio. Never even thought about that. All right, there you go. There's a rat cleaning video, a roach people video for you. We may have the real roach video very shortly. I think that's all I got for you tonight. Of course, if you have topics you'd like me to talk about in the future, be sure to send them in. Let me just see real quick if there's anyone we can restream to. Let me see. Is anyone... Actually, I want to check if Harmful Opinions... He streams around this. I would like to restream to him. But I guess I don't know when his streaming schedule is. All right. I guess no restream tonight, I suppose. But as I said, tomorrow there should be the Johnny Somali verdict for Friday. Well, not verdict, sorry. It'll be his court appearances tomorrow in Seoul. And he'll have to go there to both plead guilty or not guilty to his new charges from last month, and then also listen to the new charges he'll have that came recently. So he's had some additional charges, and we don't know if there'll be more and more charges as well. So that we might do an update of that. There might not be enough to talk about. We'll see. If not, I'm sure I can find something to talk about. And I do have plans this weekend though, so maybe we can fit in a dinosaur stream. I'll see. But you'll have to be in the Discord if you want to hear about that, because now that I'm moving the Discord, the dinosaur content, the gaming content is going to a new channel. If you're interested in that content and you didn't hear, you have to follow the link in the previous dinosaur stream, because that'll no longer be available on this channel. Okay, it's being moved. It's migrating. The extinction event happened. So this is your last warning. If you're interested in that, you have to either go follow that new channel or be in the Discord, which you can access by joining as a member. Otherwise, if you're not subscribed, you'll miss all of that based dinosaur content, where I'm looking forward to playing Trudon next time. Thanks for everything, guys, and we will be out.